Yeah, I don't think it probably surprised too many people what I was announcing today, but I'm pretty excited for a big marathon of a bunch of games I'm really excited to play. I've had a lot of time to go through this schedule 1,000 times, trying to make it as good as possible, and I think I've got some really cool stuff to show off. So all the art, by the way, is by Red. They've crushed it as always. I'll show off some of the art a little closer in a second, but I wanted to start by I don't know, some production value. Doing this under duress? No, I'm not doing this under duress. But we are going to be doing it pretty much all July long. I'm doing a full schedule reveal. I'm going to show off exactly what you can expect to see. You bet you know a few of these games? Yeah, I imagine that, I imagine that you'll know quite a few of them. So it's 4 weeks of content. I'm going to be doing 6 days a week, plus a potential bonus day on Sunday. Obviously, my Sundays are still going to have Speed Bump on them, so it will probably just be like a little stream, if anything, on Sunday. But I'm going to go through week by week what you can expect to see. Yeah, so there will be some bonus content that will show up on the Sundays if they're unlocked. I don't really know how I'm going to do unlocks. I don't want to do a big subathon. I don't really want to do like that kind of grand scale. First off, I don't really need the money, so it's not like I'm, you know, raising funds for any particular reason. So I think what I might do is set some like really low obtainable goal for another emote slot or something like that. Or it might just be viewership incentives. If we get enough viewership throughout the week, that'll unlock something special on Sunday or something like that. Just in general, I haven't really decided what the incentive structure is for this. So just, you know, expect to play it by ear. Channel point donation thing. Yeah, I could do channel point donation or channel point goals. That might be something I can do. In any case, that's the part that I haven't figured out yet that I'm going to give myself a month to think about. If it is some sort of like subathon, I'm going to keep the goals incredibly low and reasonable because I'm not, you know, I'm not pushing for anything in particular. So, with that, let's talk about the marathon. So, each one of the weeks, there's a general theme to the weeks. The only one that has a really specific theme is one of them. But, yeah, for what it's worth, I guess I should start off by saying thank you for reminding me, Twig. This was really Spike's idea. Spike did Dashing Through Time, an awesome marathon of a whole bunch of games that Spike has speedrun. And I could do something like that. I've got 1,000 games I've speedrun, but I don't remember any of them well enough to do a marathon like that. And so instead, so Spike had made a joke that, you know, I should do Dashing Through Trash since I've played so many trash video games.
Never give up.
And so that's what we're going to do. I have picked some of my favorite games I've ever played before, and some of the things in here are stuff that I've never played. So this is not a revisit of only games I've played before. This is, some of it is brand new things that maybe you've wanted to see me play that constitute bad games. Some of it is stuff I've already played before. No, they're not going to all be speedruns. They're mostly intended to be done in one sitting, so they're kind of speedrun-ish in that regard, but I'm not going to be, like, challenging myself to get any impressive time. Hold tight, Nodelecta, you won't be disappointed. So, I'm gonna go week by week, and we'll look at what's in here. So, my first week is an intro to the whole thing, so I'm hitting you with some of my favorite games, starting off with Bubsy for the SNES. I put Bubsy 2 in here as a bonus. I really hope that by whatever means I incentivize unlocking bonus games, I don't succeed at unlocking that one, because I really don't want to play Bubsy 2. And I do have more information. Once I've gone through the whole schedule, I will post all this information online so that you can see what to expect, including any changes I make to the schedule up to the event. But the second day is Bible Games by Wisdom Tree, and the specific ones I'm planning to play are Bible Adventures and King of Kings, which, if you're not aware of those, both of those games are 3 games apiece. So that's 6 games right there, as well as Super 3D Noah's Ark, which I've never beaten. I've played, but I've never beaten it. Those are all the interesting Wisdom Tree games. There are a lot of other Wisdom Tree games, but they're not as interesting in my opinion. And then I have Spiritual Warfare on here as my bonus game. Spiritual Warfare is wild. Spiritual Warfare is wild. On Wednesday of that week, we have the Weixing A Link to the Past Famicom demake, which is really interesting. I haven't played it in a really long time, but I actually own a cartridge of it. I don't think it's sitting next to me anymore. I think it's in my closet right now, but I actually have a cartridge for the Weixing Zelda NES demake, so that'll be a lot of fun to play through again. I have for Thursday a Quest 64 Fire Only race. I'm going to be racing with Oglib, as well as certain other people have been invited to participate, and if they want to, they're welcome to join in. So it might be like a big group thing. But specifically with Oglib, I'm going to be racing Quest 64 Fire Only. Remember that blind... Okay, I guess I'll just let myself out of the dungeon. Yeah, Weixing Zelda is going to be really interesting, especially for those of you who haven't seen it before. I don't know if you've never seen that game, but it'll be wild. On Friday, I'll be playing through Bubsy and Fractured Furry Tales. It is reasonable to think that I could beat that in one sitting. That might be pretty tough. That's why I put it on Friday, so that I have a longer stream to enable that to be possible. I'm not guaranteeing that every single thing on this list is going to be possible to finish in one sitting, and I'm not guaranteeing that I'm going to circle back and actually finish everything on this list. So for the most part, what you can expect is I'm going to give it an earnest attempt to finish in one sitting, and if there's anything left at the end, I'll decide whether or not I actually do it. Yeah, I have my blind playthrough of Bubsy Jaguar on YouTube, and it's like 8 hours long for the playlist of it, so if I set aside the right amount of time, I might be able to finish it. We'll see. And then the last one, last day of that week, Saturday, is going to be Sonic 06. That one is probably unreasonable for me to expect to beat all 3 stories in one sitting. That game's not short, but I'll probably play through 1 or 2 stories at least in one sitting, so... yeah, that's going to be another one of those ones where I've put it on Saturday intentionally to give myself as much time as possible, and in my estimation, Sonic 06 is probably... Yo, thank you so much, DSF. Thank you, by the way, for all... I'll go back and say thank you to every single one of these resubs at the end. But Sonic 06 is one that I might expect to turn into bonus content on Sunday, like finishing it up on Sunday, possibly. I'm excited to play Sonic 06 again. Just an excuse to play Sonic 06 again. It was fun when I played it before. It's wild. It's very strange. Spiritual Warfare on that week is probably something that I'm going to have to, even if I do start it that night, I'm probably going to have to finish it after the marathon. And some of these things will just be stuff I'll do after the marathon. Alright, so that is our first week. And obviously my first week and my last week, I've tried to specifically stack it. So, you know, not every single week has all the heaviest hitters, but I do think that I have some really great content for every single night. I've got, what, 24 days worth of content that I tried to fill, and over the past month, I've been working on the schedule. I kind of sit down and look at it occasionally and say, no, that one's not good enough, let me find something better, and I've repeatedly done that. So I think that I do have something good for pretty much every single day, but obviously this first week is meant to be stacked. It's meant to be really, really stacked. Don't thank me for the name, this was Spike's idea. Spike recommended, Spike had the joke on, I posted the clip on Twitter. He said that I should do Dashing Through Trash. Spike's idea, Spike's fault, it's all the same. Yo, what's up, Gilder? Alright. Next week. Here we go. So, starting off on Monday, we're going to be doing some clones of Kid Cool. So we're going to be playing first Kid Cool, and then in addition to that, I'm probably also going to play Decap Attack and Psycho Fox in that order. Basically, as much as I can of those three games. Kid Cool I can definitely beat in a sitting, even really unpracticed, but I've never played Decap Attack all the way through, and I've never played Psycho Fox pretty much at all. So, those are going to be more or less casual playthroughs. They're the kind of thing that I would expect if I don't beat all three of them, that the ones I haven't beaten will probably just show up either as bonus content or content after the marathon is over. The next one I have up here, I've listed as Famicom Bootleg Grab Bag, and I'll tell you exactly what games I have there. It's kind of a mixed bag of some Color Dreams games and some other bootlegs, just stuff that I like. So first we have Journey to the West. I don't remember actually who did the Journey to the West that I have as the NES ROM. It's one that I actually discovered from racing Unusual Cook in Cuso Grande. That's where I discovered it. Love that Journey to the West bootleg. Titanic, everyone's favorite. Everyone loves Titanic. Secret Scout in the Temple of Demise, that's a Color Dreams game. Lion King 5
Never give up.
is another one. I don't remember who made that one. I'll have all that information when I actually do it. And then finally Master Chu and the Drunkard Who. I'm not sure exactly what order I'm going to be doing them in, but I will basically just start with one and keep going all the way through. Maybe, with that said, we'll see. That list might get longer. I might include a few other bootlegs of things that I like. That is kind of a catch-all for a bunch of Famicom games that didn't work as just a single night, but I wanted to include them all together, so we're going to be playing all sorts of my favorite Famicom bootlegs. Yeah, I'll add Wait and See on there. Thank you for the reminder. Yeah, that's a good one. So yeah, just a collection of Famicom games. On Wednesday, I'll be playing through the two Zelda CDI games, the pair of them, Wand of Gamelon, Faces of Evil. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do about the CDI games. I know that they can be emulated. I don't have a working CDI anymore, which is probably something that, if you've ever owned a CDI, shouldn't surprise you. They are terrible machines. I may just play the remasters for those two, but that won't solve my problem of Zelda's Adventure. Which is the reason why I still will have to figure out how to emulate them. Supposedly the emulator was patched and works better now. That's great. I'll probably poke around and get people to give me advice on how to set it up, because I haven't set up a CDI emulator in 5 years at least. Yeah, basically, if I can't get a CDI emulator to work for me, then I'll just replace that Saturday with something else equally as exciting. I don't know. But I'd like to play through Zelda's Adventure finally. I've never really played any of it beyond like the first 10 screens. So we'll do some of that. On Thursday, I have a collection of some of my favorite Shrek video games I'm calling Swampapalooza. I couldn't call it Swampathon, that name's already taken. For that, the main game that I'm going to play is Shrek Extra Large, which is actually a sick game. That game owns. But I also have on the list Shrek Wreakin' Havoc and Shrek Hassle at the Castle, which are two Game Boy Advance games that are kind of good. They're good-ish. But also kind of fit this marathon well, so I may pull a handful of other Shrek games. Yeah, maybe we'll play Shrek Kart too. I'll note that down. There was a Shrek Kart, wasn't there? Holy crap, there was a Shrek Kart. Well, there's an iOS app, right? Was there another Shrek Kart? Like one, wasn't there a console Shrek Kart? Swamp Buggy Rally. Swamp Kart Speedway. Okay, yeah, I'm putting that on here. I don't think I was really even aware of this game existing. No, that's not true. I knew it existed. I'll put it before Wreakin' Havoc and Hassle the Castle, because it's going to be more interesting, probably. Okay. I've added it as on my list to note. On Friday, I have Virtual Hydlide, which I know does emulate. I already confirmed it with Shintalk. So I've never played Virtual Hydlide, and I don't expect that I could casually beat it in one sitting. But I will start it, and that one is almost guaranteed, unless I'm just having the worst time, like the actual worst time. If I'm not miserable, then I will finish that one after the marathon, essentially. Yeah, I know that the frame rate on it is rough. I don't really care about that. More for me, it's whether or not the gameplay is boring or interesting. But yeah,
Determined to go forward.
Well, RBW, that comes down to whether or not I know what to do in order to beat it in that amount of time, right? Like, whatever the case, we'll see. I'm definitely gonna give it an earnest shot to beat it, in a sitting, and if that doesn't happen, then I'll continue it at a later point, almost certainly. And then, as I mentioned already, that Saturday is reserved for Zelda's Adventure, which will be another casual playthrough that almost certainly won't be in one sitting, so we'll have some more stuff after the marathon to wrap up. So yeah, that's my second week of content. I'd say that as in terms of like way that I've structured things, that's the week I consider my weakest, but it has a lot of stuff I'm really excited about still. That's how good I think all of these games are, so, you know. Your mileage may vary, whether or not you agree with me, but, the next week is literally the only week that has a proper theme to it. So the theme for the third week is all cartoon, TV shows, that kind of, you know, I put them all on the same week. So you may see like a thread going through it, but maybe you won't see it, and I don't care. That's fine. So first up, we're starting with Pink Goes to Hollywood. The SNES game. I'm not going to play the Genesis one, I'll play the SNES one. That's the one I prefer anyway, so... that game's pretty miserable, and it's really possible that I can finish it very fast, so I may come up with some backup plans for that night. A few of these nights will probably have backup plans baked into them, just in case they finish faster than I expect them to. Pink Goes to Hollywood's a pretty brutal game, so I'm anticipating that even if I do play it well, then I will just probably game over a few times and have to go back and replay the whole game a few times, so... if that happens, that's fine. I can live with that. I'm dedicating a whole night to Pink Goes to Hollywood, so if it's mean to me, then okay. I'll leave it at that. There's some other Pink Panther video games that I could throw in this night. I'm not sure. I kind of took a look around at the wide world of Pink Panther-based video games, and I don't think there's enough good ones, or enough interesting ones to pad out that night. So if I do have anything else substituted in, it probably won't be, it may not be Pink Panther themed. Next up is my after-school special night, so it's all Raya edutainment games. So the games in that list that you may be familiar with is Captain Novolin, which is a game about managing type 1 diabetes. Rex Ronin Experimental Surgeon, which is a game about understanding the dangers of tobacco. Packy and Marlin, which is a game about understanding how to manage asthma symptoms. And Packy and Marlin is also about type 1 diabetes. And Bronchi the Bronchiosaurus is managing asthma. So, we'll play through those. You know, take care of yourself out there. If we finish all those games, and meet whatever meaningless bonus incentivization structure I have, I'll also play Wally Bear and the No Gang, which is about saying no to drugs. An important message for the youth. All the other games were Super Nintendo games that were made by Riot from 1992 to 1995, but Wally Bear and the No Gang was actually a NES game that came out in 1992. So guess for yourself whether or not that's a licensed entry. Wally Bear is also a miserably difficult video game if you just, like, if you haven't memorized the whole video game, it's really rough. I remember distinctly how hard that game can be, so... on Wednesday, I have Rocky and Bullwinkle. I'll play both the NES and the SNES games. I have speedrun both of those, to a decent extent. I haven't played them in years, so I don't know that that will give me any benefit to beating them, but we'll see. And I've never played the Game Boy game, so I included that as my bonus on that night. Has it been playing the same song over and over, or is it... No, it's not playing the same song over and over. On Thursday, I'll be playing a variety of Mickey Mouse games. And I actually collected quite a few that I would consider relatively bad Mickey Mouse games. So I have Mickey's Safari in Letterland, Mickey's Adventure in Numberland, Mickey's Ultimate Challenge, Mickey Mousecapade, Mickey's Dangerous Chase, and I've even included in here as bonus Mickey Mania, which is a much harder game than all the others combined. I guess Mickey Mousecapade is probably the only one that gives it a run for its money. But Mickey Mania is a pretty rough game. We'll see. Maybe we'll, maybe we'll get through all of those. That's quite a long list of Mickey games. That's a lot to pack into one night, but basically we're just gonna do a collection of Mickey Mouse games, so. Disney and the Magical Mirror Star Mickey Mouse. Isn't that the Panel Upon game? Or is that a different thing? No, Mickey's Magical Mirror is the point and click one, isn't it? I might note that one down as a possible addition. Was it Magical Mirror? I can't guarantee, because that's adding to an already extremely long list, but that might be a good one, because that one's kind of whack. I've only ever seen it, I've never played it, so maybe it's like super good, but it seems to me like it probably isn't. On Friday, I have Superman 64. I truly believe I can beat Superman 64 in a sitting. Superman 64 is plagued by the problem of if you don't know what to do, the game's impossible. But I think that it's probably achievable in one sitting. Since I know what I'm doing. Yeah, Gilder's version of this would be a lot of really deep, terrible cuts, so... I might play it on one of the lower resolutions just for giggles, but I'm going for viewability, not playability. So if we get massive slowdown, we get massive slowdown. What are you gonna do? Can we donate to make the game feed smaller for Superman 64? I will consider that as an incentive option. That sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah, that's the real problem, is flying through the rings is a lot easier when the frame rate drops. So if you do that on the ring stages, they become really, really difficult. Tofile, thank you so much for the 1,000 bits. Yeah, we can play it at a lower percentage. We'll play around with some ideas for incentives for each of those days, but that's a really good idea. That's a really good idea for one. Like I said at the beginning, for those of you who are kind of joining mid-announcement, I haven't really settled on what this marathon's even for. I don't want to like ask people to open their wallets and pour out money, because I don't need it, and I feel... In any case, I may come up with like an alternate way to incentivize things, but you know, we'll see. Yeah, I'm not worried about I'm not worried about like motivation for just doing the marathon. I'd do this marathon just because. That might be a good idea, Red. I might think about that. I'm more thinking like, how do I, like, what is my metric by which I decide whether or not bonus incentives are unlocked? So, I don't know what that's going to be. I might make some very low number sub incentive goals, just like unlock another emote slot or something. But we'll see. The last game on the third week is going to be Winnie the Pooh Rumbly Tumbly Adventure. If you're not aware of Rumbly Tumbly Adventure, it is a delight. It is a joyful game that I really, really love. Unfortunately, as the bonus game, I've added Winnie the Pooh Home Run Derby, and Christopher Robin is a fucker. If whatever bonus unlocks Winnie the Pooh Home Run Derby is met, I will commit to, on a long enough timeline, beating Christopher Robin. Obviously, it wouldn't be in one sitting, but I would commit to beating Christopher Robin. Will I do it without any upgrades? Is that like the standard challenge that people do? Or are you just trying to find a way to make me more unhappy? Pi does it without upgrades? Please use upgrades. I will consider it. If I do it, I might do it with upgrades, and then if we beat that, maybe down the road, I'll consider doing it with no upgrades, so. Yeah, Pi doing it does not make it a great idea. Yeah. Alright. Hopefully you are ready to see the last week. I've put a lot of stuff I'm really excited about on the last week. Obviously, you gotta start good and end good. Though there's nothing really good here. It's just, you know, start strong and end strong. How about that? So I put a lot of my favorite things on the last week. So starting off with Wizard of Oz for the Super Nintendo. I do love that game. It's very bad, but I do love it. It's very bad. Am I doing the Lemon Drop game? No, and you don't have to. I'm not going to do the Lemon Drop game. But maybe I can be incentivized to do the Lemon Drop game for an amount of time, but I will not commit to beating the Lemon Drop game, because that is a unbelievable ask. I speedran The Wizard of Oz for the Super Nintendo, so I have at least a cursory familiarity with the game. I mean, my speedrun time wasn't great, and it's a very hard game to speedrun, but I am familiar with it. I guess what I'm saying is I'm going in with some experience, so. I have not run God Gives Directions. You're talking about the DS Wizard of Oz RPG. I've never played that. That might be something interesting just to add to the list to play through, but I've never played that one. Oh, Famicom Bootleg, yes. Oh man, I completely forgot that even existed. I need to add that to my list. What was the name of the DS one? Anyway, it doesn't matter because I'm not playing it. Beyond the Yellow Brick Road. Okay. I am doing Bubsy 3D. Bubsy 3D is a game that I've played way too many times, and I don't think that it would really challenge me all that much to play it. And so for that reason, I'm going to do an unpracticed 100% run. That's the plan. That will actually probably be interesting, because while I do know how to beat that game, I'll never forget how to speedrun that game any percent. The rocket parts are just, I can't remember anything about them. Oh, maybe, do I pull back out the dance pad to do Bubsy 3D dance pad again? Some of the games in Action 52 are not possible to complete, to my knowledge, worse. I will consider that. That's actually a really good idea. What was the other one that was suggested? Resolution change. Yeah, I actually specifically chose not to put Balan Wonderworld on here. I had considered it, but I just don't... It's very hard to put together a schedule. Let me say something before I go on. It's very hard to put together a schedule and not and then take the high road and say, we're not punching down. I'm not calling these games bad. Games aren't bad. People work hard to... I really do feel like that's mostly true. I really don't want to punch down at video games, and Balan Wonderworld is a game of compromises and budgets, and I think ultimately what ended up being produced was just kind of, to a lot of people's thinking, mediocre. I don't think it's a bad game, so... I don't know. However you feel about that as an answer or response, whatever. I don't think Balan Wonderworld fits, and I don't want to punch down at a game, so... On Wednesday, I have listed here, I'm just calling it Kusoge Nights. It's a bad game shuffler, and I have a relatively extensive list so far that I'm still adding to. I'm not trying to throw every video game in here, but I did try to put together a fairly comprehensive list of kind of generally bad games that I don't want to beat, but that would be fun if we just put them all together. I'm just going to copy and paste the list I have so far, and I'm just going to be adding to these over the month while I'm thinking of them. Just if a game pops in my head and I'm like, oh, that would be a great addition, I'm just going to throw it in here. This is like my one place to throw together a bunch of bad games, like stereotypically bad games. I'm going to put it on a really chaotic shuffling time, like 20 to 45 seconds, so we're just rapidly pounding through games. It'll be chaotic, it'll be fun, it'll be tiring, but just a chance for us to see a ton of awful things. This is the list as it stands now. but this list is guaranteed to change either with additions or removals. So that's what I have so far. I could probably put Jelly Boy on there, but I'm not sure I really want to put Jelly Boy on there. I'll consider that one. That's not a terrible one. Oh yeah, Green Dog the Surfer would not be a bad one to add to it. I really considered putting in a Jim Power game, but I don't want to make the entire audience throw up all the time. But I might still do Jim Power. It's the same reason why I don't have Mohawk and Headphone Jack in there. First, I think it's dumb game. But on top of that, also terrible motion sickness warning, so maybe I'll put Jim Power in there. Yeah, okay, I'll put Jim Power in here. Fine, Jim Power's gain added. Oh, thank you for reminding me about Escape from Atlantis. I added that to my Famicom bootleg grab bag.
Determined to go forward.
Next up we have Hummer Team demake games. So these are specifically demakes of actual games. I could have put the Weisheng A Link to the Past demake in here, but it's actually the only one that's not by Hummer Team, so I just have one night of all Hummer Team games. So we have Donkey Kong Country 4, Chinese Super Mario World, Aladdin, and Somari on there. And I may throw in a few other things, but those are the ones that I have the most familiarity with, and we're just gonna play through them. Yeah, Hummer Team made Somari. It was actually a bootleg of their own bootleg. They originally made Somari with like a horse character, which was their Hummer character. I think the character was like named Hummer, something like that. But they replaced it with Mario later and made Somari. There's a few other games by Hummer Team that I may throw on that list. I'm trying to remain a little bit conservative on how much I ask of myself in one night. But we'll see. Then I have on that Friday, courtesy of Red, the title Hammed Steams, which I think is very good. I had called it something less kind, and Red said, hey, how about this name, which is funny and isn't mean. So I'm calling it Hammed Steams. These are all games, actually, that I don't think any of these games didn't come from Gilder. So, Gilder, these are Gilder's games, and Gilder actually has agreed, tentatively, to guest for that night, and so we're gonna be doing the best of Bad Game Theater. So we're gonna plug the great Gilder Sneeze. He's gonna come over and help us, play through those games, and make sure we get more eyes on Bad Game Theater, because, you know, selfishly, first off, I love Bad Game Theater and I want to see a lot more of it, but if Gilder's incentivized to pull more bullshit from the Steam backlog, that means I get more cool games to play too. So it is zero altruism, pure selfishness for me. I just want Gilder to always give me more great games. And so those games that we're going to be playing are Sword of the Black Stone, obviously. Pears and Grey Witch, obviously. I have Fishy Dungeon Delving on here. I loved that. That was a ton of fun to play. So we're going to play Fishy Dungeon Delving again. And Super Clown Adventures. I might put together a few more games from stuff that me and Gilder have done together. Maybe like Feathery Ears. Oh, you know what? Not a maybe. we'll play Feather Eaters that night. And just a few other things. These are all games that Gilder has given me over the years, so it's only appropriate that Gilder is there to celebrate with us. That list of games right there is potentially going to grow longer, especially if Gilder and I continue playing some terrible Steam games together between now and then. Anything else that seems fun, I'll throw it in there. So. And then finally, our finale is the School of Mario. So, some Pludmer edutainment. That's only 2 games, but I am pretty happy with the 2 games we're going to be playing. We're going to be playing the deluxe editions of both Mario is Missing and Mario's Time Machine. I'm not going to play all the other ones. I know that there are other, like, Learning with Mario and Mario Teaches Typing and stuff like that. Those aren't interesting to me in the same way. I'm going to be doing specifically Mario's Missing Deluxe, which is the DOS version that has voice acting, and Mario's Time Machine Deluxe, which is the Windows 3.1 version, which has voice acting. Yeah, they both have voices. And I'm really excited to play through them. I've played through Mario's Missing in my life half a dozen times, a dozen times. It's actually, I actually think that Mario's Missing is kind of fun to play through. Like, every now and then I just want to play Mario's Missing. But we're going to play the deluxe version, which I've never played before, and it actually has voices in it and all sorts of stuff. And then the Mario's Time Machine is a setup that was given to me by Carrie. She gave me an install for Mario's Time Machine Deluxe to be able to play that, or a setup for it to be able to play that, and it's got voice acting as well. And that is the entire schedule. I hope you're looking forward to it as much as I am. The schedule is not guaranteed to be locked in the sense that I may add some things, especially if I'm having issues with emulating the CDI. But I really am excited about this list of games. There's going to be special guests for a few other things as well. So, for instance, the night of Kid Cool, I'm gonna have Smartball join me playing Kid Cool, assuming he's available. That's up to him. And I might try to squeeze Bugs Bunny Birthday Blowout in here somewhere. Bugs Bunny was one of the things that got cut to make room for some other stuff. But I'd still like to do Bugs Bunny Birthday Blowout in particular, because I think that one's a really good game, and I'd like to play it with Smartball. Out to Lunch was another one that I had considered, but ended up scrapping for other better options. Yeah, maybe we can get Bersincha in. Maybe sub 20 in Kid Cool will finally happen. There is a command now. I think I just set it up. Yeah. For you to be able to pull up the schedule. That command will be available for the time between now and the end of the marathon, so you can always check the schedule if you want to see it. I will mention one last thing before I show off some of the key art for this. And that's that I mentioned that broadcast will begin by 8 p.m. Eastern. Some days, some of the stuff that's very long, so things like I'm expecting Virtual Highlight to take me a while, and Zelda's Adventure I'm expecting to take me a while. I may start earlier on those days, but I'll announce it and keep everyone in the loop for what my plans are. Hey, it's not your fault. It's Smartball's fault for naming himself after a video game. Intentionally confusing. It's very like him. I have to figure out what I'm going to have my patrons doing next month because I've kind of booked myself up for the entire month of July, and usually they pick a game for me to play. So if I end up pulling something from the schedule, I may let my patrons vote on something for one of the days, or I may let them vote on a piece of bonus content, or I might just give them 2 votes for August or something like that. We'll see. But that's the schedule. The only other thing I really wanted to make sure I showed off was some of this awesome key art that Red made. So I have a zoomed in copy of the art that they made, so you can take a look at it. It's honestly gorgeous. So I just wanted an opportunity to show it off. Yeah, Pears is not a screenshot from the video game, and it's not drawn, it's rendered. The amount of effort that Red put in for Pears for this screenshot is astounding. But that's Dashing Through Trash. I've been working on this actually basically since the day that I saw that clip from Spike and I tweeted about it. I've been working on a schedule and putting everything together. I wasn't sure when I would get around to it because it's very tough to kind of like figure out a month that I can stream a whole bunch of stuff like this, but July was looking pretty promising, and so I waited until I was certain that July was going to work, and here we are. Now know with a month to go. There will be more information coming about whether or not it's going to be like a subathon, which if I do that, it will be a very small one. It's not going to be, I'm not trying to get to 1 million sub points. It would be mostly just like, let's try to unlock the next emote slot or something like that. But I may do, Red had a great idea of maybe doing charity, like donating to charity as part of it. There's a handful of options I could go with. I do want to mention that Red specifically redrew me in this art to have smaller muscles because they thought that the muscles that they drew were too muscular for me and my body. If you've ever seen my body, you might imagine that I'm not viewed as the most muscular person. But I'll have you know, I have been going to the gym, so... Yeah, we've got a cool S on our hands. We've got a cool S. Anyway, that's it. If you have any questions or you want to ask about ideas or you think you've got something I should add to a part of the schedule, let me know. I do not view this schedule as completely set in stone, so if someone has some great idea that I just can't believe I didn't think of and I want to add it, I'll probably just do that. I don't feel like the reveal stream is sacred. You may end up with a slightly different marathon on your hands in the end, but you know, that is Dashing Through Trash. How do I feel about Balan Wonderworld as Kasuge? We talked about that a little bit earlier. I said that I don't really think it fits what I'm going for, and I ultimately don't want to punch down on games like that. The sort of games that I picked out are either sort of old licensed games that have their problems, or they're more modern, let's say lower effort games. But Balan Wonderworld is one of those games that I know probably just ended up being a product of budget and crunch and nonsense, so...